Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello viewers, welcome once again to my channel. So today you find me on a traffic island really, but this is sort of the last of the videos where I'm doing the built up area, although one or two friends have asked me to do Queen's Road as well, so if I have the time I will do those as well. So we have been here before. The road that I'm on now is King Cross Road, and it starts from town, our town in Halifax. So where the traffic is going downwards, to the left of that is our town, and in the right hand lane it's the carriageway. It gets elevated, and then obviously you can reach the various other roads, or you pass the other roads such as Gibraltar Street, Fenton Lane, and then eventually end up at the roundabout. So we have been here before. This is People's Park, and further down is Park Road. Then on this side was Arden Road. On this side the Elms Road, the Elms houses of Joseph Crossley. But it's this lane here to the right that we are going to explore today, and that is called Parkinson Lane. So Parkinson Lane starts from this splendid Victorian house, no doubt someone's residence in the olden days, but I think it used to be called West View House, and in my days it belonged to the education department, but today, as you can see, it's an office belonging to an accountant. So we are going to go up there and make a journey of about a mile or so, as I walk up I will be stopping at certain points. So I've just stopped a little bit further. So these sort of described as grand, innocent looking houses in my time all used to be dentists' establishments. They are quite large inside. So we're a little bit further up Parkinson Lane, and you can appreciate from this angle how big West View House is. So that's the journey we're going to be making further up Parkinson Lane. So as you can see, it is very, very built up. So we've got streets like this going all the way up, and then on the right hand side this is the corner of Calderdale College, and further up where I'll be stopping next is Francis Street. So I'm now stood at the far end of Francis Street, viewers. Perhaps you can't see very clearly. I will go across and then you'll get a clearer view, but for now so this cuts across 3 lanes. Here we have Parkinson Lane, and then of course as we went further, if you remember, the first one there is Hopwood Lane, and then Lister Lane, and finally Gibraltar Street. So this road cuts right across. So I'll just show you views of the architecture once again. I really like these Victorian houses, and there's a whole row of them up there. So these are nice, lovely 3-4 bedroom houses, and on this side, as I say, is more of Calderdale College. So we have this tower, and then the whole of this complex, which, as I've explained previously, used to be a girls' grammar school in our time, and it goes right through, and at the back was the row of terraced houses called Park View. So slightly further up on Parkinson Lane, with it being a Saturday, the college is obviously closed, I just wanted to show you how nice this building is. So we've got this building, and then there's the old tower over there, and more shots of the wonderful houses on Parkinson Lane. So if you go through these streets, of course on the other side it is the carriageway and King Cross Road. I'm just a little bit further up from where I was previously. We were looking through that gate previously. I just wanted to show you that how this relates to the carriageway. As you can see at the back, that where that bus is going, that is the carriageway. In my time used to be always called King Cross Road, and now it is the Burdock Way or the Arkan Way. So I'm in a lot of greenery here, but you can see how splendid these houses are, and I'll walk a bit further and show you more of these are the grounds of the college. As you can see, it goes right up to there, and then, as I say, if we go where those white signs are on the other side is actually Park View. So I'm a little further up now. Previously I was just below where that white van is, and this road is a lot clearer. So I'd stop to show you more of the wonderful architecture, and at the back of course is the King Cross Road. So just pan over on this side. That's the journey that we're going to be making further up Parkinson Lane. So I've come a lot further up Parkinson Lane. So this is the boundary wall of the college. So you'll recall that I did make in the previous video I was on a street called Park View, which is just to the left here, and from there we could see these playing fields come artificial astroturf fields. So this is the boundary of the college, and then of course if we pan on this side we can see more of Parkinson Lane. I'll walk a little bit further. So these houses are between King Cross Road and Parkinson Lane. So in our area and in other areas, what you'll find is firstly a nursery, which is either detached or part of schools. So we have a children's nursery, or kindergarten as some people call it here, and the school is further up there, and that's where I will be stopping next. So as you can see here, more examples of wonderful Victorian houses. So I'll walk a little bit further, and then up there I think is the school and more of the housing. So I'm just on the other side of the nursery now, viewers. We will be going on into this street because there's a landmark that I want to show on this street, but I'll just pan around to show you more of the architecture. So this is how, you know, old England looks, and it has, you know, the houses have been modernized, so these are all Victorian houses. I'll go on the other side and show you these because these are wonderful houses before I go into this street. So as you can see, we've still got about 3/4 of a mile to go beyond those traffic lights, and where those traffic lights are, that is of course Queen's Road. I'm just on the other side of the street. So as you can see, there are very, very large family houses that have been extended even into the roof. As I said, we call those dormer houses. So I'm going to go further into this street and show you another landmark. And as I told you, beyond this street, although you can't get to it on foot or by car, is Park View, where we overlook the college. So here we have the nursery, and then beyond that is the college. So I've come into this street, which is called Hermond Grove, and what I've come to show you is this building here, which is another masjid, and we call it, well, I call it the Parkinson Lane Masjid. So as you can see from the sign, it's the Makki Masjid, and this is where it is housed. Again, it is built from scratch, as it were, and it serves this community. So if you look beyond there, that is where we were previously on the other side. As you can see, it's fenced off. That is Park View on the other side, and behind all this shrubbery is the college, and we are going to go back on to Parkinson Lane and show you the other landmark buildings. So I'm a little bit further up again, viewers. Just want to show you the splendid Victorian architecture again. Really large houses which now house families, and in previous years, in Victorian times, must have belonged to very rich people. So I'm a little bit further up now, viewers. So once again, you can see how built up this is. So these houses are a lot smaller. We call them back-to-back houses, and then at the end of them you find these larger, splendid houses. And then on this side we have our local primary school, which of course is called Parkinson Lane Primary School. It really is a nice building, and just like many other schools in the UK, it has been refurbished and has really nice facilities. So it extends from up there all the way here. So a number of my nephews, nieces, children and children of the community came to this school, and for a short while actually taught in the school as well in previous years. So let you admire the wonderful architecture once again. As I say, we will be making the journey further up that way, and we can only admire the architecture. So most of this area sort of really developed after the 1890s, but some of the buildings date back to the 1860s and 1870s as well. So that's the journey we've made so far, and we've not quite reached the traffic lights yet, but we've got about half a mile beyond the traffic lights. So we will try to see if we can get the video below half an hour. So once again, I've stopped a little bit further up to show you how the roads connect. So this is called Park Place, and as you can see, it goes right through to the other side, and on the other side it is of course Hopwood Lane. Although you can't reach it by car, it can be reached on foot, and of course on foot you can go right across the whole of the area. So pan once again to show you the wonderful school. So as you can see, more wonderful houses. So this is under the street that goes through, right through to Hopwood Lane. Okay. So Yeah, wonderful. So you get an idea of how big the school is, extends right back to there. So I'm now further up, viewers. So this is the junction of Parkinson Lane with Queen's Road. So we have been here before, and a number of friends have told me to revisit this, and I will do at a future time, because they want to see some of the buildings close up. So this road takes us to the end, which of course is King Cross and the carriageway, and of course this way is the rest of Queen's Road, and we will revisit, and the area that you can see beyond there, or the traffic lights there, are the Hopwood Lane traffic lights, and then beyond that is the other areas, which are Jimmy Street, Hanson Lane, and eventually Panel Lane. So I really need to focus on this area here. So from where you can see that reddish building, the and I think it's the Charwalla there, from that reddish area right up to here used to be what we call the Mackintosh's building. So there is a family called Mackintosh's in Halifax, and they produced toffees and chocolates, and they used to have their factory here. So it existed for a long time, and then it got taken over by Rowntree's, and that group of course owned the other factory which I showed you on Hopwood Lane, which started life off as Riley's and is now called McVitie's. So this is where the Mackintosh factory used to be, right from there over to here. And in addition to the factory, there were other sort of sporting facilities such as a bowling club, etc., but that has disappeared and replaced by these newer houses. So this is the corner of Parkinson Lane and Queen's Road. So where you see these vans from here to that building, those buildings are iconic as well for us, because there used to be a sewing factory and a cinema there, but I'll visit that on another day. But this area here used to be a really large dairy in my time. So we've not much more to go, viewers. We're going to carry on our journey further up Parkinson Lane and show you more of the buildings. So I've just stopped on the other side to point out this area. As you can see, it's going to be a new complex, but where you see this boundary wall, this is where the olden days railway line used to be. So all of this at that time used to be railway yards, and none of these properties were here. So a lot of this was built at the end of the Victorian era, and here we actually see another private nursery, and beyond it much larger houses. So I'm a lot further up now, viewers, from where I was previously. So I was where you see those properties on the left, I was on the end of that. So as you can see, there is residential properties on that side, and then on the right hand side, and then we come to this really enormous industrial estate. It's actually not as busy nowadays, but in my time there were many engineering companies here. As you can see, it's used for modern purposes such as storage, but through there there were many other units like this. And the other thing is that is where the Masjid was, the Al Hadith Masjid. So what you see is all the residential areas down there, and then industrial area up here. So this building, it does, I mean, my camera angle doesn't do it justice, but it goes from here right through to the other side, which of course is Hopwood Lane. So we are almost at the end of our journey, viewers. So where you can see that building right at the back, that is a very large pub and a hotel, and just that's very close to our the end of the journey. So I'll stop at another point further up. So just show you this from another angle. We just can't see through this, but all the, you know, there are units like this right throughout. So this road is called Fenton Road. It just goes off Parkinson Lane, and as you can see here, we have a food store at the end of residential properties. A lot of these buildings have a lot of history. For example, this used to be the headquarters of the Halifax Co-op a long time ago, and it's well, in the time that I've known it, it's always been a food shop of some description. So this is Fenton Road, and it goes right up there and joins Warley Road, as does this as we go further up Parkinson Lane. So I'm about 50 yards further up, and I want to show you how big these units are. So to the right is all the industry, and then further back, of course, you start getting residential properties. So at the end of this road is Hopwood Lane, and although you can't really clearly make it out, the end is the cricket club cum social club that we visited in the previous video. Just showing you some views from the other side. Again, this used to be a really large engineering company. I think it was a German company called Holst, but of course all those companies have moved out of this area to other areas. So we'll carry on making our journey towards the end, viewers. So as you can see, lots of residential properties, and we have that hotel at the top. So I'm a lot further up Parkinson Lane now, viewers, and as you can see, we have residential properties up to there, and then we have a really large industrial area here. The front of it is actually on Fenton Road, and does have a nicer facade. So I assume that this was the sort of transport areas, and now it contains a lot of small businesses. So it starts from the end of there, and it's all around here. And although, you know, this is another engineering company, it's still part of this complex, and I think it's called Maple, or it was called Maple Works. So as you can see, we are coming towards the top of Parkinson Lane. And here is another road that comes from the other side and joins Parkinson Lane. This is Gibraltar Road. So you will recall that I've been on the other side of Gibraltar Road. So Gibraltar Road actually starts in on Gibbet Street. So we came through Gibbet Street and then on to that lane there, which of course is Hopwood Lane, and then it comes through here and it comes on to Parkinson Lane. And on in the middle of the Gibraltar Road, of course, we showed you the Masjid. Jamia Nurani. Sorry viewers, just catching my breath back. So as I keep saying, we're coming almost to the end of the journey. I'll just pan all around so that you get an idea of the architecture or admire the architecture. So we are nearly at the top of Parkinson Lane, viewers. So where those cars are turning is Gibraltar Road. So I've reached this point. So this is a very important landmark, as I kept saying when we were down there. So at one time it used to be called the West End Hotel, and it is now a private residence. So as you can see, a wonderful building. So I'm going to show you more of this street, and then we're going to come to the end of our journey at the top, which of course is Warley Road. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of Warley Road, and then that is the end of our journey. So I've just stopped on here just to show you how big the hotel used to be, West End Hotel. So as you can see, it extends to there, and then the rest of the street extends right through to Hopwood Lane. There used to be residential properties on here and another pub, but for whatever reason it got demolished. So viewers, I am now at the top of Parkinson Lane. So as you can see from here, it joins Warley Road. So once again we have lots of residential properties, a few businesses, and I really want to end the journey by showing you this wonderful school. So it is on Warley Road. It's another Victorian school that has been splendidly refurbished and provides the primary schooling for the local community. So I hope you do have enjoyed today's journey. I'm sorry I've been out of breath and not feeling very well, so my voice has not been as strong as in previous videos, but I will bid you farewell from here, people. So there are more videos obviously to come over areas, but I think the weather is getting a little bit colder, so, and a lot of people have asked me to try and do more on the educational side, but as I try to explain, that my problem there is the technology. I'm not very good at the PowerPoint. It takes me an awful long time, but that is my bread and butter, and I am going to go back to it and hopefully start producing them either next week or the week after, because as I said previously, some friends have said that I must do Queen's Road because they want to be, they don't live in the area anymore and they want to see how it looks at the present moment. So I said I have covered a lot of it in the car, but they have asked that I do the walk like I've done today and in previous ones. Okay, so that is the end of our journey. Please look after each other, look after others, अपना ख्याल रखना, दूसरों का ख्याल रखना, दुआओं में याद रखना. अल्लाह हाफिज.